Welcome to the Virtual Ball Boys Football League podcast. My name is Chris, and I am joined once again by my good friend, Matt.
Sometimes you dungeon, sometimes you dragon.
Sometimes you and. You ampersand.
Yeah. Or the letter N if you abbreviate it DND. Instead of D and D with the ampersand. Now I am a DND. Because it looks better, I think, and it's easier to type because you don't have to hit shift or go to the special characters spot on your phone keyboard.
Right. Now you just hit that N. It can be lowercase or uppercase. It makes it a lot easier.
Yep.
Anyways, welcome everyone. Penultimate episode of the Virtual Ball Boys Football League, Season 3, Week 7. I realize it's kind of confusing when I say Season 3 like this. Because we're in season 4 of Virtual Ball Boys, but this is the third season of the Football League.
Yeah,
it's confusing, but if you follow along, you stay with us, it makes sense. Anyways, it is the final. It's our final 2 weeks here. Today would have been our final week if scheduled conflict didn't come up for earlier this week, and I apologize for that. That's on me, of course, but we are back, and we're going to play out the last few weeks here. No more interconference matchups. The next time you'll see an interconference matchup is the Big Spoon, our championship game. Right now, though, it is all division matchups, so it's a big deal. Everything that happens from here on out, it's gonna have massive ramifications from here on out. It's gonna be very exciting. But before we do that, let us go back to the table of scandals. And once again, I have to ask, which two teams have not been affected yet? I think Joplin Ghost Hogs is one.
God, we really should have written this down.
Yeah, I think it's the Ghost Hogs and the Mecha Moose. Last time was Euclid.
Yep.
Because they were
very memorable with Euclid. Possum Express we've definitely done. Woonsocket we've definitely done.
Mud Otters we did.
Mud Otters we've done. Orcas we've done.
Yeah, I think it's Joplin and Mecha Moose at this point.
Okay, so I will roll a D2, also known as flipping a coin.
Yes, heads Joplin. Tails, Westminster.
Well, I am still gonna roll a D2, so we'll do one for Joplin.
Right. Yes. And we'll see who gets affected by the table of scandals this week.
It will be Joplin.
Joplin gets affected. Okay.
This game decides the leader of no, it doesn't. They're not facing each other. These are just the two teams that were affected.
No. This is two teams that are in the head of the West, but they are.
Yep.
And by the way, it's worth noting that everyone in the East will no longer be affected in any sort of capacity at this point.
That's true.
By the table of scandals.
Euclid was enough.
Yeah, they are completely clear of it. So now the West just has to deal with the chaos that is the table of scandals. Can you roll a D100 to see where we will be going with our next scandal?
I sure can, Chris. That will be a 4.
A 4? Oh, no. Okay. Let's see.
So this is probably one of the first ones that Walsh came up with.
This team's coach has been accused of messing with the footballs by flattening them or changing their shape. This team receives a -1 on offense, a -1 on defense, and +2 ball handling. Now, here's the thing. One thing that we've definitely not established this season is coaches. So I am going to guess that Skylar, who is the general manager of the Joplin Ghost Hogs, has gone out of her way to flatten Kenny.
Flatten Kenny.
And change the shape of Kenny. And is ultimately has been messing with it. So
she took his parka off, and now you can understand him.
Oh no, yeah, that's his worst nightmare right there. But there you go. So that's actually our very first matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and just switch right to that matchup.
Yep.
The Joplin Ghost Hogs at the Lafayette Lafayette Mud Otters. They're not both ghosts. I am going to go into my stat bug and edit things precisely.
We should have a 0-2 -2.
0-2 -2. So the ball handling is better.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be able to catch Kenny better.
Kenny
without
will be
the
more...
park on. The park is a little slippery because it wants all the snow to fall off of it.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, actually. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna type in the change in the stats here. It would be plus. It would be. Oh wait, I keep on doing the thing where I'm using the stat bug for everyone. So I keep on being like, wait, it should be +3 on offense. I'm just like, no, that's another team. Chris. What am I doing? All right. Gonna go ahead and export that, and you'll see the change in Joplin stats in 3, 2, 1. There you go. And then, well, I'm gonna keep that file open just in case we get some fucked up natural ones. But all right, so
maybe if we talk about it beforehand, there'll be like we won't jinx it. It'll be the opposite of jinx. Like, we talk about them so much,
yes,
that we won't get any.
Man, I really hope we don't get any natural ones. I
hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope we don't get a game with 2 injuries and that team still wins.
That team still wins. All right, so then. Joplin, so you already stated the stats, but just go ahead and repeat it. You're playing as the Joplin Ghost Hogs, so where are they?
I will be the Joplin Ghost Hogs with an offensive 0, a defensive 2, and a ball handling of -2.
And as the Lafayette Mud Otters, I will have an offensive +4, defense +0, ball handling -4. And as always, first game of the day, the road team starts on offense. Joplin, let's get things underway.
Natural 20.
Well, okay. I will go ahead and roll a d20 just in case. That's a 13. Yeah. So there you go. Touchdown, Joplin Ghost Hogs.
Yeah, this is going to be major glory because he's the most patriotic character on the field. Will be the first. It worked. This worked out way too fucking well. This scandal.
Yeah.
So Major Glory is going to be the quarterback the entire day. Is able to complete a pass to Miles Morales, who still somehow fumbles it a little bit, like in his hands, but then he remembers that he can make spider webs and gets a little sticky and carries Kenny into the end zone.
Don't love the use of the word sticky with Kenny.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're not your fault. But anyways, it's that's 6 on the board. Let's see how Oscar Proud does with his first kick of the day. I feel like I played Joplin Ghost Hogs a lot.
I feel like you did too.
I guess
obviously they did have 3 home games in a row.
That's that. All right, so that's why. That's why I felt like that.
Yeah.
And they're on the road the rest of the way too.
That is a 9 though. Oscar Proud does miss.
Not great.
Not great.
But still 6-0 after the first score of the day. All right, next up, Mud Otters with their first drive. That's a dirty 20.
And a 10 from Joplin.
The advantage gives me a 12.
And another 10.
All right. Lafayette gets the score. We are going to have Phoenix Wright. He is going to take the ball and throw it down the field to Master Hand, who's actually, you know what? Master Hand has decided to take control of the of the defenders and like kind of hold them in place, kind of like puppeteer them like he did in Subspace Emissary a little bit. And it's actually gonna keep the door open for Swift to come in and catch the ball and go down in the end zone for the score. So he kind of almost a little offensive line defending right there for Masterhand. All right, and we'll see how Mr. L does with his kick. And the stat for Mr. L is a 4. No good.
Oof.
So the kickers are not doing very well today here in Marzipan City. The weather's fine, so it's just them. They're just being fuck-ups. Anyways, it's tied 6-6 as we move on to the Joplin Ghost Hogs with their next drive. End of the first.
That is a 15. Not bad.
Not bad. And that's a 10.
13 with my advantage.
And that's a 12, so you got it.
Very nice. All right, Major Glory. Once again, in at quarterback is going to give somehow 2 screen passes to Ryden. And the defense just doesn't notice that another screen pass is happening. Even though it's the most readable play in all of football. And I actually haven't seen like a really well done screen pass in a really long time. But it still worked. Oscar Proud going to come out to kick. That is another 8. Kicking. Not great.
Kicking is not good today. There's just there will be no kicking. Just period and discussion. But yeah, it's 12-6, and we've got a touchdown on every single play thus far. So the defenses are struggling despite it not being what you would expect being a 14-7 game. It's 12-6. Then Lafayette will now start the second quarter off with an 8.
Oh, Evan.
All right. Disadvantage. That's going to be a 4.
And a 6. Joplin does make the stop.
Yeah. All right. But we'll see what Mr. L does. He has to get a 15, and the way the kicking's going, it's gonna be kind of hard to do that. But he does get it.
He does. There you go.
21 is the number there, so it goes from 12 to 15. So Lafayette does get the score at the very least, and just extends their lead, but not by a whole lot. All right. So then,
did I not kick a field goal last time? No, I did. You didn't adjust the score yet.
You know what? I screwed up here.
Do you add the points to?
I added the points to Lafayette by accident.
Okay, so it should be 12-9.
Yes, 12-9. My apologies. I completely read that wrong on the screen. So it's not that Lafayette extended the lead. They closed the gap from being from behind. So it's 12-9. My apologies. I did not correct the score there correctly. But there you go. Then we shall go back to Joplin with their last drive of the first half.
10.
And in response is 17.
Ooh. Pretty good. That's a 4 with my disadvantage.
But a 3.
Oh.
So, touchdown, Joplin.
All right, Joplin looking to solidify themselves as a contender this year. Doing a pretty good job at it as Chun Lee gets a really nice block from Major Glory, who's able to complete the pass to Miguel O'Hara.
There you go. And can Oscar Proud get a kick? Can he do what Mr. L has done today?
Let's find out.
Finally come back.
He does. He is successful.
Very nice.
Each kicker got rid of their jitters.
Damn right they did. All right, so it's a 10-point game. Lafayette can't take a lead here, but take a lead at the end of the half, but can at least try to close the gap with their last drive of the half. Let's see how it goes. That's a 12.
That's 6.
Okay, advantage. 12.
And a natural 1.
All right. Well, that would have been a touchdown either way, but we do add Joplin having a natural 1 to the board. Anyways, touchdown, Lafayette. We're going to have Mr. Wolf this time come out and is going to hand it off to Spyro. And Spyro, of course, is just going to... he's going to end up doing like his charge that he does into just knocking enemies away and completely bulldozing his way into the end zone. And so, that puts the score now... it closes it to 19 to 15. What a weird football score. We'll see if Mr. L can make it 16 points. He does. And the score now, 19 to 16 going into the half. Very nice. Joplin starting off the second half. Let's see if they can extend their lead again. They've scored a touchdown on every drive thus far.
That's 12.
And a 15. So, setting up a disadvantage.
Ooh. That's going to be a 0.
All right. Well, you need that 1. And that's exactly what you got. You got that 1. That was perfectly timed. So, touchdown, Joplin.
Touchdown, Joplin. This is going to be a case where Mojo Jojo, with his small body, is going to get tackled and a forced fumble. That's going to be recovered by the defense. Let's say Incineroar actually recovers it. But then Incineroar also loses it, and then it's recovered again by Raiden, and Raiden takes it in.
Very nice. And now coming to the pitch is that what they call it? They use a term for like coming out to kick the football, or like it's like I want to say it's like a pitch or something like that.
Don't know. Oscar does miss, though.
He was very confused by my wording and missed the kick. So apologies on that front. But, hey, still 6 points on the board. And that would put the Joplin Ghost Hogs at 25 to 16, a 9-point game. What a weird football score. All right, Lafayette with its first drive of the second half. Let's see if they can all keep catching back up here. That is a 15.
That's a natural 20 on defense.
Oh, that's
Joplin.
That is not good. That is not good for Lafayette.
No, these poor otters are not doing the best.
No, I think that this time Phoenix Wright comes out and he is going to throw the ball. And he's trying to have it be caught by Master Hand. Or you know what? Let's do Forsburn. And unfortunately, stepping in the way is none other than Johnny Bravo himself, who just he catches the ball, turns around, flexes on Forsburn, and then runs the other direction. And it is just not looking good for the Mod Otters, who will need a stop here. They could allow a field goal and still be in it, but you don't want this team to score.
You don't want to Yeah, you don't want that to happen. That'll be a 3, so good start for Lafayette.
That's also a 3, so a straight up and down roll here.
That's a 13.
And a 17.
All right.
So
they did get a stop.
Did force a field goal, so that's still good news for them.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Oscar Proud can do. Man, who knew that deflating your footballs would help you win games?
Keep in mind that this is a weird kick, so
this will be a 12.
You have to beat a 12, yeah.
That is an 18.
We've done it with a 15, so there you go. Yep. Very, very nice. So that puts Joplin at 28-16. So now it is a 12-point game. Lafayette, beginning of the fourth quarter, excuse me. They need to score 2 touchdowns to get back in this game. So let's see what happens. And that's not happening. It's a natural one. Wow,
And to add insult, this roll was the other roll was a 2.
Yeah. No.
Would have been a 4, but
yeah, it would have been 4. Yeah. So at this point, they're going back and forth between quarterbacks, but the luck is just not there for them. Mr. Wolf came out and almost immediately, I'm gonna say that Granddad just comes in and just knocks the ball out of Mr. Wolf's hands, and also has a very stern talking to Mr. Wolf, but then also walks away with the football. It's just bad news bears for Lafayette, who basically who has lost the game. There's no coming back, and we will now have 2 drives that will mean nothing. However, there is one thing that we have not done yet in this Joplin game, which is figure out a way to kill Kenny. So I think that's what the next drive will be about.
Yep, we got to make sure.
So Joplin with its victory drive at this point.
Victory drive. Let's see what happens. That's an 11.
And that will be a 16.
All right. That's a 2 from at disadvantage.
And an 11.
All right. So after kind of making it down a little bit, Major Glory completely missed throws, and we're in Marzipan City, so there's a bunch of food and stuff around. He throws Kenny into a frozen dessert area because Kenny's not wearing his parka. He gets hypothermia.
Oh no. Well then they're gonna roll out a new parka-less Kenny out to be kicked in through the uprights, because we do have a
kick. It is not successful though.
Yeah, a disadvantage kick. Yep. So did not work out in their favor there, but hey, they still won the game, so it's all right. And one last drive for Lafayette just to make up some ground with points is a 12.
15.
Okay. And that roll will be an 8.
And a natural 20.
So, yeah, it's at this point...
don't trust anyone from Missouri. They will cheat.
At this point, Master Hand has just now has completely has bloodthirst for power, and now is just controlling his entire team, not understanding.
Holy shit!
Not quite understanding that he wants his team to succeed, and therefore they just have not done anything. They have not committed a football play here. It is just he is just puppeteering the rest of the team at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone's very scared about Themberchon being in control of Master Hand. But Will Marzipan City be okay? You'll have to wait till later.
Oh no, this is the last home game for Lafayette.
Oh no, I guess we'll never know.
This is also unfortunately Lafayette's 4th straight loss after starting 2-1.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's a brutal stretch, but them's the breaks.
Them's the dice.
28-16 is your final score of the first game here. Joplin Ghost Hogs get the victory, their second win in a row, I believe. So staying in the driver's seat of the West potentially. We'll see how Westminster does in their match. But for now, we're gonna go over to the East. Usually I've been splitting these West and East, but decided to mix things up here. We're playing the Woonsocket Fiber Foxes versus the Bennington Birch Cats in a match that is really interesting. It's a rematch, I believe, of week 2, and that was a close game. Yes. That was a prime-time game where Woonsocket just barely got the victory. 20-19,
yeah,
was the score. And Bennington also has a similar trajectory to as Lafayette, where they started 2-1 and have since lost their last 3 games. So either they can come back here, or Woonsocket, who got their win last week after getting their first loss in week 5, still sitting at 5-1 and still in contention for the top of the East. So let's see what happens. Matt, you are playing the role of the Woonsocket Fiber Foxes. What are their stats?
The Fiber Foxes have a -1 offense, +5 defense, and -4 ball handling.
And the Bennington Birch Cats have an offense -3, defense -3, ball handling +6. And so this is the battle between the best defense and the best ball handlers in the league. So, without any further ado, let's see what happens. Bennington will get the start, as this is the second game of the day. Starting out with a 8 to start things off on offense.
That is a 19.
Okay. Disadvantage.
Oh.
Would have been...
Put an nat 20 in there.
Yeah, instead that's an 8.
But I also got an 8.
Okay.
So it is a score.
It is a score for Bennington Birch Cats. Let's have Jonathan Joestar is going to come out, and he is going to throw the ball deep to Static Shock. And Static Shock is, again, I'm not super familiar with Static Shock. All I'm going to assume is that he's going to just shock the nearest defender to keep them away from them, and then run into the end zone.
Yeah.
And then that puts 6 points on the board for the home squad. And let's see. This is a home game, so just eruption of kick chants begin as Kick Patowski comes out and attempts
the kick
here.
Kick. Sorry, I'm my microphone.
No, you're fine. 13, and
nice.
He does get it. So that's 7-0 to start things out. All right, Woonsocket, your first drive of the game.
Woonsocket will start with a 3.
A 10.
That is going to be a... I forgot I have to roll twice. That's a -1.
Oh, no. And that's a 5, so no touchdown for Woonsocket. However, you could try to roll the disadvantage kick.
I mean, there's no reason for me not to.
No reason.
Steal and Contos, I believe, has a +4. Yes, he does. That is a 9 that will not do it. That wouldn't make any kick.
No. That's just bad kicking right there.
That's just bad kicking. So Woonsocket Maybe falling victim to their previous success. We'll see.
Man, the kickers have had a rough day today.
They have. What's going on? What's going on?
Just not holding it together very well. We're just each kick feels like it's just wrapped in scotch tape, or it's not staying together very well. Sorry to defame the brand of scotch. Also, I don't really care. Anyways,
yeah, I was gonna say like if all hills to die on, like scotch tape is not really like bad tape necessarily.
No, but if you only are using like little bits and pieces of it, it's not keeping that thing together necessarily.
I guess
if it's falling apart, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's just like duct tape. Now that shit's that.
Okay, roll your offense roll.
It's 7. 7's the roll.
That's an 8 on defense.
All right, disadvantage. That's a 12.
That is a natural 1. Is that my second?
That's your first.
That's my first. Okay.
For this game, yeah. So that's a touchdown then for Bennington Birchcats. Let's see. We're going to have. I'm on Woonsocket's page here. Let's have. Caleb's gonna hand it off to Adam Eve, and Adam Eve is going to kind of juke a few members of the defense and ultimately make it into the end zone for the touchdown. And that's going to be 13 points on the board now, with Kick Patowski once again coming out to many fans. Oh yeah, he's soaking that in. That's a 14.
Kick.
And he and that's 14 points on the board for Bennington after the first quarter. Woonsocket down 2 touchdowns. We'll need to find a way to get back in this.
Let's see how they start out that trek. It's a 12 to start. Not bad.
That's a natural 1.
There you go.
So that's a much needed break for Woonsocket.
Absolutely. The frosted flakes are falling from the ceiling. Not the ceiling, the sky. That's the word I'm looking for in the stream world. As Tony the Tigers, newly motivated and is able to carry the ball in amidst the crunchy cereal around his feet.
Absolutely. You know who I also think is a big fan of cereal? Steelo Cantos, who's going in for the kick.
Yes, he is. He looks like he would like cereal.
I don't think anyone who works in a store does not like cereal.
That's a 14.
I dare anyone to tell me otherwise. I don't think you have the facts. Anyways, so there you go. That's 7 points on the board for Woonsocket, much needed, as we said. So now, each team has a drive left in the first half, starting with Bennington. $16.
Nice. 11.
All right, a needed advantage kick for once. That's a 17.
That is my second natural 1.
Oh boy! All right.
Woonsocket's vaulted defense not showing up today.
No, sorry, Bob. That's your name, Bob, right? Anyways, Keyleth this time is going to take the ball and attempt to throw it. This time is going to land in Fangs. We're going to say Fangs. He's gonna catch it with his mouth, and just because he has tiny arms, it's hard for him to reach up. So he's then just gonna rampage into the end zone, and get the score. And so that's going to put them at 20 points. And Kick Patowski is gonna come out to get the kick, and that's a dirty 20. Kick Patowski is carrying the kickers on his back this week. He's keeping the kickers in good light. All right, 21-7. Still a 14-point lead now Woonsocket will look to close the gap before the end.
They can still be in it.
Oh no, absolutely.
That's a 9 for offense.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
That is a natural 20, so they will not score this time.
No.
Let's see. Where we're gonna blame this on? We're gonna blame this on Lucio. Because it actually wasn't a lot of Lucio's fault, but right when he was about to like make the catch, some more news about Blizzard being pieces of shit came out. And he stopped moving for a second.
I see.
Like glitched out and like stopped moving, and then like if he hadn't glitched, he would have been in the right position to catch the ball, but he was like 3 feet too short.
Yeah, it just hurts morale, you know.
It hurts morale when the people who make you are, you know, anti-consumer and like don't make the promises that they keep, and then make all of their games pay to win. Despite at one point being one of the like leading examples in the gaming industry.
Yeah, it's a rough go of it for Lucio and his squad. But there you go. It is 21-7 going into the half, and coming out of the half, Bennington now will try to extend their lead. Let's see how that goes. That's a 0 to start things off.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay, disadvantage.
That's the second time.
Yeah, that's happened.
You have rolled a nat 20 with the disadvantage.
And then having a terrible roll next. That's a 9.
That's a 16.
All right.
Woonsocket's defense finally holds them to maybe a field goal.
Maybe a field goal. Maybe Kick Patowski now with his biggest test today, kicking a long field goal. No, does not do it. So the bad luck is now just injected into Kick Patowski's veins. But yes, maybe he would have made it if he was closer. It was a 12 that we rolled, but that is just not how it works. So no score for Bennington Birchcats to start things off, leaving an opening for Woonsocket.
That's 5.
And a 10.
-2 with my disadvantage.
And that's a 15.
Okay, stealing a contest time.
Looking to get a 15 or more.
That's a dirty 20. He was able to get it.
Very nice. All right. So, interesting situation. Bennington can win the game here if they get a touchdown. But if they don't, and it's even if it's a field goal, that will still leave the opening for Woonsocket to come back. As someone who likes close games, kind of hoping Bennington doesn't score here, but let's see how it goes.
Hey, sometimes you just need like an ass kicking of the best team, of one of the best teams in the league.
That's fair. So that's a 13 to start things off.
And mine's an 11.
Okay. That's a 19.
Nice.
Needed.
Doesn't beat my 23, but it is nice.
Okay, all right. Well, that's big, though. That's big for Woonsocket. They forced the field goal. They're guaranteed to stay alive going into the fourth quarter here. So, let's see what Kick Patowski does. This is an advantage kick, so it's a little bit easier. And he gets it. So, that's 24-10. But it does mean that Woonsocket, which they could do it. They have 2 drives left. They have to score a touchdown both times, get extra points both times, and get the stop in the middle drive in the fourth. So, let's see what Woonsocket does. Start of the fourth quarter here.
Will the Foxes have the greatest comeback we have ever seen that's going to start with a 17 on offense?
Next to Bennington's almost comeback last week.
Yes.
That still crazy. All right. 17. That's a 10.
Can't believe that game was a week ago.
Yeah.
That is a 2 with my advantage.
And that's a 14, and that is gonna do it.
That
Bennington
will do it.
Bennington Birch Cats are going to beat the Woonsocket Fiber Foxes.
Woonsocket just shit themselves at the end.
Yeah, but we still have a couple of drives to go, and we also have to finish out this one. There is still a field goal potential here.
There is a field goal. Does not make it. Woonsocket is just like, they got way too high on their own supply, whatever the fuck that means. But they do not score. They do not score.
All right, and Bennington.
By the way, I know what getting high on your own supply means, but I don't know how it specifically applies to this this simulated football game.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We know you know. Wink, wink. Anyways, I'm just kidding.
What's the wink for?
No, you don't know.
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
You don't need to know.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. This is delirious already. This is already a very delirious episode. Bennington is going to have a victory drive followed by a loser drive from Woonsocket. So let's see how Bennington does with its victory drive. That is a 4 to start things off.
Versus a 10.
All right, so disadvantage. 18 for a disadvantage.
Also 18, so
would have been a touchdown there.
Bennington gets to pile on.
All right, so then we'll have Bennington, Jonathan Joestar. He is just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fucking posing and dancing as he's throwing the ball down the field, and everyone's just having a great time. It lands in the hands of Batman Beyond and goes in for the touchdown. And Kick Batowski's going to come out to kick.
Kick.
The application did not respond. Kick Batowski's just like frozen in place.
Send it again.
Oh no, no good. He's they're
totally missing all of those points.
Yeah. That's just it's fine. They'll be well fine. They still made it to 30 points on the game, which is very good. Woonsocket. Just looking to stay in a just in case Euclid loses later today, probably trying to stay in that tie-breaking conversation.
Yep, they really need to. That's a 16.
That's a 3. And I hear Remy.
Come on. He is scratching his face, which is jingling his collar. That's my third natural one.
Okay, well, we don't have
on the last play of the game.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
No,
but
I mean the 7 counts though.
The 7 is the what counts in that. That's a 6, so you do get a touchdown.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just. All right, Reinhardt is going to be in on the offense for this play, but he's so ill-equipped to catching a football because he's got a big fucking hammer that he trips on his hammer and injures himself. But he was not the target for the ball. Knuckles was, so Knuckles gets the touchdown.
There you go. And just for good measure, Steeler Cantos.
He fucking misses. Of course he misses.
Kicking
sucks today.
Kicking is just not good. But that's a 14-point victory for the Bennington Birch Cats, who win the game 30-16. A big victory for them after it has been a really, really rough go of it, having lost 3 in a row at this point.
Yep.
So to get this victory is must be sweet. But there you go.
And fun fact, Bennington and Woonsocket have scored the same number of points throughout the season now.
Oh,
which doesn't sound like it should add up.
Doesn't, no.
but it's the case.
I'm pretty
unless
sure
I did my math wrong.
I'm pretty sure Bennington has scored more points combined today than Woonsocket has throughout the entire season combined.
I mean, no, because Woonsocket has scored 26 and 35 and 24.
I'm kidding. It's just it is a low scoring team
there
typically. So there you go.
And this is the most tied for the most that Bennington has ever scored.
Yeah,
Bennington has not scored more than 30 points.
Yeah, Bennington, which is interesting, but like
they're in they have 4 games where they're either 27 or 28, so they're not like slouches or anything.
No, absolutely not. All right, so Bennington is going to walk away with the victory here, and we are going to take a quick break. But when we come back, or a quick pause anyway, because again, we don't have ads anymore on these stupid podcasts. So when we come back, we will return with another West matchup. So stay tuned. And welcome back. It is now time for the Mega Moose, who were tied in first place with the Joplin Ghost Hawks coming into today. Joplin did get the victory, so in order to stay in that conversation to make next week interesting, and let's be real, it's very interesting because they are facing each other next week. They want to get this victory. They want to guarantee that points are not a tiebreaker, that they can decide on the field who's the champion of the West.
Exactly. Now the Mecha Moose can still take the lead for the division. However, they do need to score at least 38 points, which is near a perfect game.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, they're going up against
5 touchdowns and 1 field goal.
They are going up against Tacoma, who's had a rough go of it. They've been on record at least the worst team in the league this year, 1-5. Not necessarily a lock for the bottom yet, because they also have Lafayette in their division, who's been also having a rough go of it.
If they win their next 2 games, Lafayette will sink to the bottom.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but Tacoma is in a interesting spot to play spoiler here against the Mecha Moose in this big matchup. Matt, you are playing the role of the Mecha Moose. Please tell me their stats.
Moose have a stats of are these? I was looking at Tacoma. That makes more sense. They have an offensive 2, defensive 1, and a ball handling of -3.
And the Glass Orcas have a -1 on offense, -3 on defense, +4 ball handling. Very opposite teams.
Yes.
In this regard. All right. Now, Mecha Moose, you'll get the start.
Mecha Moose first on offense are going to start out with a 5.
And that's 3.
Okay. With advantage, that gives me a 12 on my ball handling check.
And that's an 11.
Ooh.
I mean, it would have been a clear either way for Mecha Moose, but yes, that is a touchdown for Westminster.
So Leon Kennedy, the man, the myth, the legend himself, from Resident Evil 4, in case he didn't know, is gonna make a shovel pass to Master Chief. Who, Master Chief's not used to running on ground that's flat. He's used to running on the planet that's like shaped like a halo. But he's developed enough.
And how does Travis?
I'm just saying words at this point, Chris.
Yeah.
They're just words.
Yeah, that's what podcasts are, my friend. They're just words.
That's a 13. We're just normal men. We're just innocent men.
I'm just a man missing you. Anyways, 7-0. To start things off. Hey, Travis touchdown. I gotta say, on a unlucky day for kickers, getting the first kickoff and succeeding. kudos. You're not letting it get to you yet. All right, Tacoma now starting off on offense. That's a 15.
And that is a 6.
And that's a 16 with advantage.
Oh, but a natural 20 from Westminster's defense.
Yeah, it
no
was...
points.
Yeah,
no points.
It was looking real good at first. Fierce DD Link came out, threw the ball deep, and was going to find Knights, and Knights is just right there, going to take it. But look who was there. But Nemesis, who just towers over some of these players and just like grabs the ball and just menacingly walks down the other side of the field, and it's just bad vibes all around. But Mechamoose, they're happy at the very least.
They are.
So 7-0, and Mechamoose with their next drive end of the first.
That is a 15.
And a -1.
Oh boy. Also a 15, but I did also get a -1 on the one that won't count.
And 16. Ooh. Okay. All
okay.
Right. So it is an advantage kick.
Yeah.
But Tacoma with a nice stop.
Yeah, Chestnut had a really nice tackle on Raz, preventing the play from going forward.
Very nice.
Travis touchdown has to beat a 10. And he does. That's a 19.
There you go. And that's 10-0 on the board for Mechamoose. And now the start of the second quarter. Tacoma seeing if they can get back in this in any capacity. That's a dirty one to start. Not a great start.
Not super. That's a 13.
That is a 19 is the disadvantage.
That's pretty good. I did get another natural 20 though. No.
Oh my god.
The Moose are not fucking around.
Some may say they're loose.
They're loose.
Yeah, okay. Well, Tacoma did bring out Breloom, and again, it looked like the perfect play. You hand it off to Mennonite. Mennonite's gonna try to unleash his like tornadoes on the defenders to try to get them out of the way. What they don't account for though is that Heavy is super resistant to tornadoes. Fun fact. And so he just kind of like walks through it and just kind of knocks Mennonite over with his minigun and just picks up the ball. And it was a fumble and a recovery by Heavy. Just a brutal stretch for Tacoma there.
Yeah.
And Westminster now with their last drive of the first half. Are we going to have a close game today? I hope we do.
I don't know, Chris.
I don't know if we will.
I don't know if we will, because that's a dirty 20 on offense.
It's not looking great.
No.
Like a good time right now.
Days of blowouts.
That's a 3. Oof.
I did get a natural 1 in there, but that won't count. The 14 will count.
Yes. I made a note. And that's a 0, so that's a touchdown.
All right. And you know what? Titus to Neon White is going to be the touchdown, but I think that the Moose are thinking of their future and thinking about next week. And I think that even if they do end up losing today, which probably won't happen, they want to pad their points as much as possible to try to get that edge on Joplin if they can.
Just in case.
If the points I don't think it will. I don't think it's mathematically possible for them to play a factor if they lose this week.
Right.
Or if they win this week. But I think that we are going to go for 2.
Fair enough.
Travis touchdown is going to not be kicking.
Hey, whatever good vibes you got to put out there. You got defense. Tacoma has a defense of -3, so it's not a hard thing to beat.
Nope. So I roll with disadvantage with my offense, trying to beat your defense roll. That is a 14 with my disadvantage.
And the roll for defense is a dirty 1, so that is 2 points on the board for the Mechaboos.
And you know who runs it in, Chris?
Who is it?
Travis finally got his touchdown.
Oh my god! I was hoping that, you know what, that's fine. We should have consulted ahead of time. I was kind of hoping if the Mechaboos were in the championship that would be the time. But hey,
okay, sorry.
No, but there's a chance that may not have happened. So I'm happy.
And also, Chris, that wasn't a touchdown. That was a 2-point conversion.
That's fair.
There is a difference.
That's fair. So he kind of tasted what it was like to score a touchdown, but he didn't quite get a touchdown. Foreshadowing. Anyways,
right.
That's 18-0. Oh boy. Tacoma. I mean, look, you have 4 drives. So it ain't over yet.
No, you just need a lot of defense help.
But it's not looking great.
No, so this is the end of the half?
End of the half here. This is a 7.
Also a 7.
All right, straight up and down roll. That's a 15.
That is a 6. Tacoma will get to score this time. No nat 20s involved.
They got something finally. Let's have we're gonna have Fierce D Link come back out and is going to try to he's gonna kind of run around a bit, trying to avoid the defenders, and is gonna kind of throw a short pass to Taba, and then Taba's gonna just start to take off, just fly above the ground a little bit, and kind of just stay out of reach of the other defenders, and just you gotta pull out your tricks here, and so the Taba gets into the end zone for the touchdown. And let's bring out Blaziken, who has been MIA up until this point because just the scores have just not been coming. Blaziken has a +5. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. 18. That's good. All right.
That's my boy.
All right. Well, it made it a little easier on them. And I think that even if a touchdown is scored here by the Mechamoose, I think that still means I think Glass Orcus would still be in it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was a much needed score going into the third quarter here. So end of the half, beginning of the half, Mechamoose up to
7 on offense.
And that's a 4.
Okay. That will be a 6 with my advantage.
And a -1. Oof. A touchdown again goes to the Mechamoose.
All right. Our touchdown receiver today, he declared himself eligible. We're going to get Strawn in for the touchdown. I don't even know what that guy is from.
Fallout.
Strawn from Fallout is going to be our touchdown receiver for the day, and of course we are once again going for 2 points.
Okay.
Because the points are that important in the race right now.
That's totally fair. Totally fair.
D20 +2. That is only going to be a 7 with our disadvantage.
But a 5
will
keep the 2 point alive.
All right, Doom Guy and Hunk create a very nice opening for Raz to just sneak on through.
Very nice. All right, 26-7. Yeah, that's a 19-point game. So Tacoma needs to be...
They have 3 drives. They
have a chance. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. All right. Let's go ahead. Tacoma with their drive. 31. That's a dirty one to start things off.
That is a 12.
All right. A disadvantage roll. Well, 18.
Oh, but that's a 19 from Mecha Moose.
God. Well, it actually...
Hold on.
It's not over.
It's not.
It can't...
It's mathematically not, because they have to get...
They have to get a field goal here. Like, that's actually...
Yeah, they have to kick the field goal.
The field goal is important, so we're going to bring out Blaziken, and Blaziken has to hit a 15 or more. Oh, that's not... No, that's not even close.
Hopes were dashed.
That was actually a blocked field goal. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah, okay.
Like, Nemesis just kind of, like, used his head to block the ball, and yeah, it's just not great circumstance there. So it's over, and we have 4 more drives to go.
You sure do.
That is wild. But 26-7 is the score at the moment.
End of the third, we're started with an 11.
-3. That is a 7.
That will be a 6 with my advantage.
And a 9.
All right, Tacoma does get the stop, but we're going to come out. Travis touchdown after his 2-point conversion is going to try to get the kick. Has to beat a 10. And he does. Very nice.
Okay. Tacoma now.
Joplin will likely... let me see. If Westminster successfully gets the next touchdown and 2-point conversion, they will tie in points.
There you go. That's being like 37. It's a 37.
They'll be at 37.
I see.
They'll both have the same point total.
All right. So Tacoma has 2 tries. Westminster has 1 last try. Let's start with Tacoma here. And again, it is. Whoops! I did. Well, it would not matter. That is a natural 20. I did the wrong statting, but it was natural. Yep. It was a natural 20. So much needed.
Oh. Yep.
Much needed. Victory.
Morale boosted.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah. Brayloom, I think, is the one who's gonna come out and is gonna get the ball, and it's gonna throw it to. Let's have like initially seemed like Lucario was going to be like a blocker downfield, but he instead is basically playing a tight end role, catches the ball, and then kind of Lucario. One of his abilities is teleporting, right?
I mean, in like Smash Bros, yeah, he can do that.
Okay, yeah, so he like kind of teleports away from a defender, teleports back into the end zone.
I believe it's extreme speed, so he just moves really fast. But
oh, I see. Yeah, okay, yeah, just in the blink of the eye. And then Blaziken's gonna come out to kick, and the kick is good. So that's 14 points on the board. Again, none of it really matters. Maybe in tie-breaking scenario with Lafayette at the end of the season. But they need a victory is the thing. Next week. All right, Westminster. Yeah, I mean, the points really don't matter. I don't think because they will have the same exact record.
Yeah. I think the only thing that at that point that would matter
is a victory.
Yeah, is the victory.
That will probably be our primetime matchup next week. Is Joplin Westminster because that's the big one.
Unless we'll see what Euclid does later, but Euclid's been really interesting as well.
Yeah, Euclid and Bennington I believe would be next week.
Nice.
So that'll be interesting.
That's gonna be a 19 on offense.
Okay. 2.
That's an 8 with my advantage.
And that's an 8. So touchdown, just barely.
Touchdown. That's going to be a Leon Kennedy to Corvo pass. But we got Master Chief lining up for the 2-point conversion. Westminster looking to make things very interesting next week. granted, it would be interesting regardless, and this does not really change the stakes at all. But
no, but we'll
for the hell of it,
we'll hype it.
That is a 13 with my disadvantage.
And a 9. Got it.
They are successful. Master Chief bullies his way into the end zone. That will be a 37 points total for the Mechamoose.
And they have the exact same points as Joplin.
They have the if I did my math right, they have the exact same points for as Joplin.
Damn, and they have the same record as well, and they'll
be competing so for top. I can redo the math later and make sure, but
we could save it, but that's fun. That's a fun way to how that has played out.
Let's see what Tacoma can do, because the next tiebreaker probably is points against.
Right.
Give us points against.
15.
6.
And that is a natural 20.
Nicely done, Tacoma.
Tacoma needed it.
They needed it.
I mean, they still lose the game, but they got some points for the road. That's I think at this point, they bring back Fierce Steely Link, and once again, kind of throwing off the offense using one of your tight end / offensive lines here. It's gonna be the electrode is gonna land in the hands of Scissor. It's gonna give him a little bit of electric shock, but it still ends up in the end zone for the score. And Blaziken's gonna come out, get the kick, and it is good. So the final score coming out of this is 37-21. Still not a single close game today. It's been a rough week, but it still sets up a big-time matchup between the Mechamoose and the Joplin Ghost Hogs going into next week, the regular season finale that will decide who the 1 seed is going to be in the West. Very, very nice. All right. And finally, our closing matchup for today is the Euclid Pokedeer visiting the Sanford Possum Express. As we talked about, Sanford has been in one of the more interesting teams this year. Started out losing its first 3 games, and it has since won its last 3 games, and now sitting at 3-3. There is a scenario, a wild scenario where Sanford could compete for number 1 in this division.
They can.
Yeah, we all know what the math is, but
I mean, like Woonsocket losing obviously is the only way that today is the only way that happened.
Yeah, and
if Sanford and Bennington both win out, it's gonna be. I'll say this: I think it's gonna be hard for Sanford to catch Bennington's point total, or Euclid's point total.
Euclid's point total. Okay.
Yeah. Unless Euclid completely shits the bed today and next week, and Sanford, like if it's 42-0 both this weekend next week, then yeah. But it'll be a little bit hard, not impossible, but probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But still, being Sanford is definitely on the up.
Yeah, and again, if they win their next 2 games. And they face Woonsocket next week. They could at the very least get the 2nd place and host a playoff game. So that's considering how things started for Sanford. That's an ideal scenario. They also could flatline in the next 2 games because it's been patterns of 3s. That pattern could end today. So who really knows? Meanwhile, Euclid has been on a run. They have 5-game winning streaks. So we have 2 winning streaks on the line. One's going to end today. A 5-game winning streak that has put them at 5-1. They overcame their loss against Woonsocket a couple weeks ago, and now all they have to do is beat teams that they have already beaten, starting with Sanford. And it's going to be interesting. Sanford's going to start out on offense, but we have a +2 on offense, +2 defense, ball handling -4. Euclid stats, where are they?
Euclid stats, they are +4 on offense, -5 defense. +1 ball handling.
And Sanford will get the first roll on offense. Let's see how it goes. Starting out with an 11.
I'd say 4.
And that is a 10. Sorry, for some reason I it did not process in my head whether it was an advantage or disadvantage.
That's all right. And that's a 9. So
all right,
Sanford gets a score.
Sanford starts out with
2-2.
a score. Let's have Sergeant Tibbs is going to be the first one out, and again it's gonna kind of like bat around the Fate's eyeball a little bit, like it's a piece of yarn that's gonna pick it up in its mouth and like whip its head so that way it's thrown and it lands in the hands of Napoleon, who's just driving that motorcycle. He's actually driving the motorcycle in the way that you see motorcyclists drive on the road, where they just drive between traffic. While waiting at a red light. Assholes. Anyways,
totally cool. Totally shows how big of a dick you have.
Yes. Anyways, Napoleon. Granted, Napoleon only does that on the football field when it's okay to be a dick.
Yeah.
Anyways, Napoleon gets it for the touchdown, and let's have Art come out and kick the ball. And that's 11. It's good. And so 7-0. Start things out. Euclid with its first drive.
That is an 8.
5.
Okay. That is a 9 for ball handling.
And a 13.
Okay, so we're going to get into kicking formation with Sanji.
Best kicker in the league.
It has to be the 10. And the Justin Tucker of the VBBFL is successful.
Very nice. Do you think Sanji knows how to opera sing?
He probably knows some bullshit because One Piece is a fucking weird show.
Yeah, okay. Just curious. I know nothing about Sanji as a character. Just was curious if there's a sort of vocal background there. Just like our Lord and Savior Justin Tucker. Anyways, let's have Sanford start out with their offensive drive with a 19.
-3.
Ooh, okay. Well, 13.
Okay. D20 -5. That's a 14, actually.
Okay.
They
all
recover
right.
it.
Very, very nice. So Sanford is going to kick a field goal here. It will be a shorter field goal with Art, and the kick is good. So that puts them at 10-3, but that does allow Euclid to potentially try to tie the game up. This is the start of the second quarter here.
$22.
And 16.
Don't you love it when you have a really good roll that's wasted?
yeah, it's all right. I just expect it at this point with how this has gone.
That's 5 and a 6. The ball handling for Euclid has not been great today, I will say.
Yeah, that's a 12 in response.
Okay, so Euclid forced to try to kick another field goal. The receivers just not getting the job done today. The Flash, the Flash is so exhausted from last week that that he's having a lot of trouble today.
You would think that they would be like, "Hey, man, take a week off. You saved our money."
No. I gotta make sure this movie comes out.
Okay. All right. The kick.
That's a 14. That's successful.
That's good. All right. Good.
I will never. By the way, I will never fucking shut up about how shit the Flash movie was.
Yeah,
because it's the perfect. It is the perfect example of corporate greed getting in their own way, because Warner Brothers like canceled and delisted and shelved a bunch of shit that they didn't need to like get like a tax write-off, and they were really banking on this fucking movie that stars a literal criminal, and it performed dog shit. Even fucking Pixar's Elemental is now starting to like gain is now profitable after being one of the worst openings for Pixar ever.
Yeah, that's rough. They're rough. They're in rough shape.
Yeah.
21.
Fuck Warner Brothers.
21 to start things off, by the way.
That's the 3 on defense.
And that's a 14.
That is a 7. So
all
Euclid
right.
is letting Sanford choo all over their asses.
Yeah, this is the last drive in the first half for Sanford here. Get the touchdown. We're gonna have Lord McGuffin come out, and he is going to throw it down the field and change things up a little bit. They decided to put Flotsam and Jetsam on offense, and they just like kind of like use both of their like eel bodies.
Yeah,
to catch.
Yeah, because they're eels.
Yeah, to catch the ball, and go into the and land in the end zone. So there you go, and now Art is going to come out to kick, and oh no, that is not good.
Nope.
So just a tiny break for Euclid, where it's a 10-point game. But not necessarily the worst outcome for Sanford either.
Let's see if Euclid can close the gap by the end of the half. That's going to start with 17 on offense.
And that's a natural 1.
Ooh, okay.
So that does change things a little bit.
Yeah. All right, Euclid will get their first touchdown off the back of a pass from King Leonidas to Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime, actually inspired by Sanford's mascot, is going to not turn into a truck, but turn into a train. Just to kind of stunt on them, even though they are down.
It's like Kirby mouthful mode.
Exactly, like Kirby mouthful mode. Everything's Kirby mouthful mode.
If you think about it.
If you think about it. Sanji's kick is, of course, successful.
Yeah.
So it is a 3-point game going into the second half.
Yep. All right. Finally, I think we might be getting our close game. I mean,
I like it. The amount of bullshittery one way or another it would take to make this game out of reach by the end of the third
would be immense.
I guess it could happen. It would have to be like a nat 20 going Sanford's way each time. But...
Right, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And Sanford's known for some chaotic games.
Oh, for sure.
So Sanford, they're going to start out the third quarter here now with an 11 to start things off. We call the Sanford Positive Express Chaos Agents.
Hell yeah, that's a -1.
That's a natural 20.
Oh, what was it saying?
Yeah, you did say it.
What was it saying? I got natural 1 on top of that. So.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. All right, add that to the counter. Well, sure enough, Sanford just absolutely just took care of business there. We're going to have Sergeant Tibbs once again. Is going to hand off the ball to Experiment 110. And it's going to seem at first that like the defense was going to close in. But then Chain Po just comes out and just completely just demolishes let's see who the fuck oh, there you go. I'm gonna say it was Dio Brando closing in, and then Chinpo just completely just like tackles him down and just allows Experiment 110 to just run into the end zone. It's just a glorious block. Really, no one gives a shit about Experiment 110. Everyone's praising Chinpo's just amazing blocking skills.
Yep.
And so
as it should be.
And Art is going to come out to kick, and the kick is good. Nice. And so now that puts the score at 23-13, and Euclid Pokedeer
start out with a natural 20 on offense themselves.
Well,
so we are making it to the fourth quarter, Chris.
Yeah, I think we are. I just in case. Oh, well. Wait a second. We haven't had one of these in a bit.
No, we haven't. It would still go to the offense by.
What
we
usually do. What we usually do though is if this happens, we do a straight up and down. We do another roll after that.
That's a good point.
Because it's 2 natural 20s, so that is no longer a guarantee after 2 natural 20s.
All right.
So it's straight up and down. See what happens.
That is a natural
13.
What the fuck?
I
had to open my fucking mouth.
I'm just saying that we did this I think last season. There was a precedent that happened where it was 2 natural 20s, and then when that situation comes up,
you're totally right.
That we would just do a straight up and down because that's what we do if 2 teams rolled the same.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm sorry, Euclid. That's your second natural 1 on the board for Euclid.
Oh my god.
So nothing bad yet, but that does prevent a does that mean then we're not even gonna do a field goal because it's a natural 1?
Yeah. That's how that works. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what goes wrong for Euclid?
Everything?
Well, at first it was like there was amazing shit happening on both sides, and then yeah, just it just completely collapses for Euclid.
I mean, like the Incredible Hulk like just stops being angry and goes back to Bruce Banner Hulk, or just not even Bruce Banner Hulk, just Bruce Banner.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough. Everyone's just like, who the fuck is this guy on the football field?
Right. Who the hell is this guy? And then, like when it's just regular Bruce Banner against fucking who's against a fucking tiger, like
no, it's over. It's just brutal at that point. All right. Well, 23-13, end of the third, and we might not make. We might not. Depends on what happens here. We're gonna start out with a 21 on offense. Why is Sanford always at the center of the weirdest football games? Why does that happen so much?
Almost. Here I am.
Oh, did I lose you for a second?
Yes.
Okay. I was just lamenting about how Sanford is at the center of all the weird football games.
Yep.
The 20. I just rolled a 21, by the way.
You sure did. That was your offense?
Yes, the start out on offense.
Okay. This is the end of the third.
Yep.
Jesus Christ! This league is gonna. That's a 14.
14. And then. Oh my God. That's a nat 20.
Hey Chris, do you remember earlier? Do you remember?
I do remember earlier, yeah. I do. It's very clear in my mind. I mean, might as well though roll just in case. Okay. No, that a 9 will not do it. Okay. Well, Sanford is might win this game here. We're gonna have more. Unlike unlike what was it, Lafayette, who kept on trading quarterbacks and nothing was working, Sanford's trading quarterbacks and everything's working for them. Lord McGuffey now takes the reins and is gonna throw it to Lady Cluck, and who's sees her destiny of scoring a touchdown into Fate's eyeball and makes it into the end zone.
Oh my god! I cannot believe how much dramatic fucking irony was at play. Apollo hit me with the dodgeball.
By the way, with that extra point, I think it's the window has closed for.
Can you put the scoreboard up?
It is 30 to 13.
Yeah, so earlier when I said we're gonna make it to the fourth quarter,
we did not make it to the fourth quarter.
We didn't. So now we got to do the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah. Euclid is Euclid. So Euclid has 2 drives here, and boy howdy, has the East gotten real interesting. Regardless of how this ends here.
18 on offense.
Yeah, that's needed and probably should have happened a lot sooner. That's a 10.
$17.
Wait, sorry. That is a 13.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, touchdown finally for Euclid.
Touchdown finally. Keenly and Ice is just gonna run it in himself. His skill position players are not fucking doing it today.
Right. All right.
Kicking time.
Kicking time for Sanji.
Salvage this shit. 21. He got it.
Okay. So that's 30 to 20.
Stupid.
Sanford is now going to have one more drive. That's a 6.
Our game is stupid. That's a 14.
I love it. I love it.
Stupid in the best way possible.
Yeah. That's disadvantage. And that's a -2 for disadvantage.
And that's a 9.
Okay. Art's going to come out to try to kick a long field goal. No good. So it remains 30 points on the board for the Sanford Possum Express. So maybe Euclid, if Euclid gets a touchdown here, that natural 20 versus has now huge ramifications. So let's see what happens for Euclid in this last drive.
I'm out of fucking words. 16.
15. Advantage.
Okay. It's a 10 with advantage.
And a 10, which means they got the touchdown.
It's the most garbage time possible touchdown that you could possibly imagine. But the Flash will be the one who gets this touchdown. And he's still fucking gassed. He's exhausted still. But he gets the touchdown. Sanji comes in. That's a 20. This is not a 30 to 27 game.
It was not. It doesn't look like it on paper.
This is not a 30 to 27 game.
But man, I'm like, we had to. I had to open my mouth and implement that rule, but I just remember.
It's what should have been done.
It's what we've done in the past, and so that's why I had to bring it up. But with that being said, Sanford just won its 4th game in a row after starting 0-3 and now has a winning record. And
they do.
And Euclid Pokedeer lose their first game since week 1. That is what just happened, and the East just got a lot more interesting. Just in the sense that you could have 3 teams competing for it. Again, we had the checkpoint stuff. And the fact that Euclid did end up keeping it close here might keep Sanford from really making that leap.
There's no shot that Sanford wins the division.
Yeah, but can host a playoff game though.
Let me add because Sanford wins 30 to
Yes.
I'm going to have to do a lot of math right now because
yes.
I also got to.
So please feel free. I want to take a moment here because starting next week, starting this Monday, I think we're going to be shifting things a bit. Matt is going to be working his day job again. So I believe that will mean that we'll probably be recording later than usual. So just stay tuned for us to give you an official time on that. We haven't quite decided on that. And so that is going to be we're going to basically be moving everything to prime time, and next week is on Monday. We're going to have the week 8, the grand regular season finale, and then next Thursday will be the start of the playoffs, followed by, I think the following week will be the championship, the semifinals and the championship round. That will all be in one episode. So it is we have 3 more episodes. Also, the finale of the VBBFL will also serve as our season finale of VBB in general. We'll take a break, and then the next time you hear from us will be September 6th. I want to say that's when the first episode of the new season will upload on podcast services and on YouTube. And of course, we're very excited for that.
So there is a chance, and by a chance I mean this definitely happened, of me making a grievous mistake in math. And Joplin was never in first place because Westminster is ahead of them by 10 points.
Oh, okay.
So our West standings: Westminster in first place, Joplin in second, Lafayette in third, Tacoma in fourth. I'm not sure quite how the points look for Lafayette and Tacoma, but if Tacoma does score enough points, they could overtake Lafayette for third place.
And they do face each other next week.
So Tacoma's defense really comes out. They could potentially move ahead. Westminster and Joplin, whoever wins next week will win the division. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now in the East, Bennington is at 3 and 4. They will probably finish. No, Sanford could still lose and Bennington could still lose. So we'll see what happens there.
Yep.
Sanford's still technically in the running for first place.
Oh.
However, let me actually add up Sanford's points real quick.
Okay.
But Sanford is in third, and then Euclid remains on top still since Woonsocket also lost. Woonsocket in second place.
Yes, and ultimately Euclid is miles ahead points wise, I believe, over Woonsocket. So that tiebreaker is in Euclid's favor. So all Euclid really has to do, I think, next week is just win their football game, and they have a lock at the first place. I believe.
So Euclid is currently 48 points ahead of Sanford, meaning that Sanford would have to score every single touchdown and get every single 2-point conversion, and Euclid would have to score 0 points just for them to tie. So Sanford cannot win the division.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Sanford Woonsocket is still going to be interesting because that is going to be for second place, I think. Because what's the difference between Sanford and Woonsocket? I feel like Sanford probably has more points, potentially.
It is 162 for Woonsocket, 170 for Sanford. So
yeah.
And if Bennington does win and Woonsocket wins, Woonsocket could get first place. Still.
Right. So, yeah, Woonsocket's definitely still in it.
Yep.
It was just whether or not Sanford would be in for first, but Sanford is competing for second. If Sanford wins, they get second place essentially.
If Sanford wins, they would get second place. Yep.
Yeah, so that's basically the stakes for next week.
Which after starting 0-3, that's
very good. That's very, very good, and that's with no roster changes too. It's for a lot of these teams, it's been night and day between the first half and the second half of the season, and that there was not any major stat changes. I mean, there's table of scandals, but that I don't think table of scandals ultimately changed too much about the league, and obviously we'll see what. By the way, the biggest match of the next week is Westminster versus Joplin, and Westminster.
And it's gonna have a scandal.
And it's gonna have a scandal.
It's
gonna be scandal attached to it. So that's pretty fun. I like that very much. But yeah, there you go. I hope you all. This was obviously a rough episode to get through because it was blowout filled. It would not get a close game, but we've had such great episodes as of late that it's fine. Like it happens. The dice dictate whether or not we have a grand old time or not. So it happens. But like I said, Monday, a yet to be determined time, we will be back with the regular season finale of the VBBFL. Hey, I also like I want to not to pat ourselves on the back, but the fact that we are on track right now to having played this entire season in a 2-month span is I'm very happy about it. It has been hard for me, I think, especially to get myself motivated to do this on a weekly basis, and that's why we've had seasons that have prolonged for so long, especially the last season, which lasted for what felt like 2 years. So yeah, the fact that we're doing this in such quick succession is very nice, and so I hope everyone is enjoying it as much as we have. But yes, anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.
Good night and good ball. Virtual Ball Boys has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at Virtual Ball Boys and find more of our work at Team Chaos Pods.